guys, the spiritual guide on how to be attractive for women. Cause I literally thought it's undoable. You cannot be attractive as a spiritual guide to women. It's impossible. So let me explain. Just the last full moon on the 5th, I had a new revelation. The previous revelation was toxic metaframing and libido empowerment. And now comes another revelation. What women inherently find attractive, just like a guy that sees a woman with a nice ass, nice tits, well-dressed, beautiful hair, beautiful face, what he finds attractive about her is different from women to guys. So the man sees it physically, the woman sees it by resources, and I'm gonna explain it. The ability of the guy to move about resources is what makes him attractive. What does that mean? To give it, it comes from the solar plexus energy, and very simply said, if I move this remote control from here to here, I'm using my solar plexus energy. I'm deciding, or at least there's an idea of a decision that I'm moving this from here to here. Just the fact that I can do this because I have a hand makes me already more interesting to a woman than a guy who doesn't have hands, who cannot do this. I know it sounds stupid, but that's what it is. So what happens now if a guy can move something big, something heavy? So let's say I have a bike here that's 30 kilos, electric bike. If I can put it up, let's say on my campervan, and I move this, then I even have more value because I can move more resources. So I can't just move one resource, I can move several resources. And here comes something super interesting. The more resources you can move and the more you can signal it, the more attractive you're going to be. And think of it exactly like as if you were watching a girl with big tits and nice ass. It's literally the same thing, just for women. Now, the interesting thing is that I did a lot of tantra massages, right? So I did over 1,000 tantra massages, and I always wondered, like sometimes women would want sex with me quite often because they like the massage and stuff, but I wondered why they never wanted more than that, like a relationship, or why they weren't like, it's kind of like you don't want to necessarily be with a tantra masseur, but there was more to that than that. And I couldn't put my finger on it what it was. I was like, okay, I'm really enjoying my time, I'm making money, blah blah blah, everything is fine. Why aren't they like, oh, I'm gonna get the best tantra massages for the end of my life? There was something missing for them. And it couldn't be the spiritual stuff, because with spiritual awakening there is a lot of stuff that I've let go already of. By the way, there's another video coming about something super important, spiritual. So, and I always wondered, like, what's missing? Am I not tall enough? Blah 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 blah. And of course, there's guys who are taller and better looking. But what does it mean to be taller? It means you can move better resources around. What does it mean to look better? It's usually that you can influence more people by being better looking, which means you can move more resources around. It literally comes always down to moving resources around. The woman is not really interested in the fact that you're looking good. The woman is not really interested in the fact that you're tall. What she's interested in is that you can move resources about. And that makes it highly valuable, because otherwise there would be no point in somebody being big. So just saying. So what you need to work on as a man is in all ways to be able to move more resources around. So I just started going to the gym again, and it's an absolute must for every guy who wants to be attractive. You have to go to the gym. So for me, it will probably take, I guess, if I'm looking like at my body right now, it will take maybe 2-3 months before it starts looking like something. Especially have to lose a little bit of fat as well, gain a little bit of muscle, and that's just one tiny aspect of moving resources around. And once you understand this, you will complete in your verbal, non-verbal communication. For example, I had glasses which were 15 years old, 10 years old, I don't know even, and they looked horrible. And I was like, I don't want a woman that's so superficial that she has a problem with it. No, she's not superficial. She is aware. She's aware that you're incapable, because of whatever means, financial, introversion, whatever. You're incapable to go into a store, pick new glasses, and look like a decent human being. I mean, spiritually speaking, it's bullshit, of course, but it makes perfect sense when you look at it from her needs, because she, as a biological mother, potential mother, she needs a guy who can take care of acquiring and moving resources. And if you cannot do that, you're like to her, it's like you have no penis. And you have to understand that. Once you understand that, you can move strategically in non-verbal, verbal communication. Everything you do, take care of your stuff. That's basically also what Jordan Peterson says, but he doesn't explain it from this masculine solar plexus energy of moving around resources and manifesting in the 3D world. And once you understand that, you are going to completely change your game with women, because you also talk differently. You'll not say, like, I don't know what I'm going to do today. Do you have any ideas? That just shows you're not able really to move resources around, because you don't even know what resources you want to move around. You have to be like, oh yeah, I'm going to do this today, and I'll just do it. You know, that's... You're not wasting time, nothing. Now, there are examples which can be overbearing in a way and not complete. For example, Jeff Bezos, he's his body looks pretty nice right now, I think, in terms of like strength. He has obviously one of the most monies in the world, you know. He obviously can move resources around in a lot of ways, but one thing he seems to lack, in my view, is real confidence. It seems to me that there is something in him. My spiritual energy healing side tells me that there's something missing in the solar plexus in terms of confidence, and that's often the reason. This lack of confidence is often the reason why they need to become so successful in a specific field. Instead of just saying, okay, I'm going to create, a nice company, become a multi-millionaire, and that's it, and just live a nice life. They always have this, if there's some huge lack, they have this need to become extremely, the biggest whatever, blah, blah, blah. And so his solar plexus is not fully developed in that sense, and girls can sense that, and that's also why his wife, or why his current girlfriend, hit on Leonardo DiCaprio. And because Leonardo DiCaprio, in comparison, is not lacking anything in his solar plexus. He can move resources around. He's self-confident. He has money, obviously. He has a lot of contacts. Whatever. He can just move resources around. This is just simple. And there's always the assumption that rich people or celebrities can move around resources around very well, and that makes them inherently more attractive to women. It's not necessarily that they're known, it's the fact that they can move resources around. So it's not really that they're known, and not just for the money. It's the fact that they can provide in a lot of ways. And so just be aware of that, when you feel like as a spiritual guy that you're not attractive to women. Now, there's another thing that might be considered, and that is it possible to have a relationship without a strong solar plexus as a man? That's I'm gonna ask you as a guy. Do you think it's possible to have a relationship with a woman that has absolutely no tits and no ass? Like none at all? And you answer yourself that, and maybe she has no hair as well. She looks like a boy, basically. A lot of men are gonna say no. Is a spiritually awakened person gonna say yes? Maybe, but it's still highly unlikely. Even then, you kind of enjoy certain things. You have preferences. So even when we went completely on the heart chakra, that might be a platonic relationship, you know. So there needs to be some basic attraction always, and it's good to know how this mechanism works, so you can use it for your advantage, rather than be like me and be like, I'm so spiritual, I'm ultra spiritual. Why is no woman attracted to me? You know that. So just to understand it helps a lot.